Alright, welcome to another Space Luchador program. Today, a shocking truth about marriage that nobody tells you. Now, I'm gonna jump right into it, right? For those that know, you know, right? What is it that I do? But I'm gonna show you how simple it really is. Because that's all I really am trying to show you. How simple it really is and how you don't even have to struggle. Realistically, right? Alright, so that's the problem, right? You are drowning in a cup of water, right? All by yourself when you don't even have to. Just like this guy. Now, sure, he made a damn fortune on a bunch of marks, right? Because that's all he sells. Woman bashing, complaints. Because that's all guys today seem to want to hear. But anyways, enough of my rambling. Go ahead and show you right in the beginning of it, right? So let's go ahead and jump in.
Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are only loved under the condition that they provide something. I mean, all women have the capability to be gold diggers and extract resources from men, sure. Marriage doesn't work 50% of the time, and the ones that stay together, most of them are miserable because they're not in love or bliss.
There you go. Contradicted himself immediately, right off the bat. Now, sure, those are just the previews of what's going to go on. But what did he say? He lives by this, by the way, or at least he claims to, right? Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are loved under what the stuff that they can provide, right? That's what he said. Then, all right, in the other little segment or highlight, right? He says that marriages do not work because they don't love each other. Well, what the hell happened to the unconditional love and the love that men don't get or is non-existent? Which one is it? And you see, that's all I always point out, right? The contradiction within the men themselves. Which, by the way, is one of the biggest and, I would say, overlooked problem of them all. As a man, all you really are is a captain. And I've said this over and over again. A captain. And what does a captain do? He leads. Right? That's it. And what is basically the definition of a shitty captain? A captain don't know what the hell he's talking about. Right? A captain that contradicts himself. A captain that says something and does something different. A captain that says, let's go that way, and his ass runs that way. So, there you go, right? Freebie for you. Anyways, let's jump in. I'll show you what I mean now. Apologize for her little chicken voice, but it is what it is, what we have, so it's what we're gonna do.
So you said that you went through a divorce. Did that kind of skew you forever into the idea of marriage? I mean, are you open to the idea of marriage, or is it just now where between coaching all these guys and being in this space that you just really have seen the ugly side and you're not willing to go forth with that again?
I mean, marriage has its own problems, but I think family law has way more problems. And the problem when you live in a way that either looks like marriage or is marriage to the government, you invite them into your household to decide what happens to your life, your money, and your kids if you ever untie the knot. And most of the time, it's not even the guy that unties the knot. It's like 70-80% of the time that's totally out of their hands, and it's the woman that unties the knot. So they don't even have a say in the decision.
Now, what did I just say about being a captain? If you have no damn say, or no control, or no power, right? You're just sitting there to the will of everybody else. You are not the captain. Another perfect example, right? There it is. It's really simple. Again, drowning in a cup of water, right? It's that simple. It really is. I know it's harsh. I know you probably don't want to hear it. No one does. You don't want to look in the mirror. It don't matter. At the end of the day, at some point, if you do want to fix your problems, you're going to have to look at this. The actual problem. Understand? All right, let's continue.
So I'm not a big fan of marriage. I have a chapter in my book where I talk about why modern smart men don't typically marry anymore.
Of course, because you failed. That's the truth. You ain't a fan of marriage because you failed. Otherwise, you'd be championing like those fake fucks out there that are married. Oh, I'm happily married and all this other crap. It is what it is. It's the truth, right? And he ain't championing it because all the other problems, right, that he probably went through. And now he can't handle it, so he's an advocate of against marriage. However, I've heard people out there, right, in the streets, in the real world, whining and complaining about how they can't get a girl and they wish they had a wife and all this other crap. They can't even get a damn date. So which one is it? Once again, you don't want to get married, right? Because you're fending them off, or are you nowhere near, right, in the ability to get married? You got no woman, so what are you gonna marry, right? Which one is it? Again, harsh, but true. Since we're talking about truth here, right? Anyway, let's jump back in.
I'm not opposed to love. I'm not opposed to women. I think there's better ways to structure your life so that you minimize the risk and have a better outcome and a better relationship with women, which I found.
That's the wrong way to do it, and I've been saying it in all my videos. You can't minimize risk. Matter of fact, that's half the damn fun and all the damn work, and it's what makes it what it is. In this case, what a successful relationship / marriage, whatever the hell you want, a business venture, whatever it is. The risk is what it's all about. If you got nothing to lose and she's got nothing to lose, well, you're both pathetic, and therefore, right, you ain't in no relationship. You both failed and you're both just taking it in the chin, right? However, there always has to be a risk. That's the whole damn point. That's what gives things value. That's it. Right? Harsh truth that nobody's talking about in the internet. Another example.
My own personal life and with the guys that I've coached, but marriage typically doesn't work that well for guys. The stats.
I wonder why.
Suck. 50% of marriages end in divorce, and even the ones that stay married, they're usually not happy.
Because they're scared. That's why.
There's a study that I quoted in my book. I think it was Aaron and Acevedo, probably butchering the second guy's name, but they studied people over the course of 8 years, and the average person that was still in love, I think it was something like less than 12.6%. It was very, very low. Like when they were.
Well, now you're talking about a whole nother problem. That's not a relationship. Are you in love through passage of time? Do you get fed up? Are you tired? Right? This is a basic things, and if anything, this study went too damn far. Anybody that's anybody should know the lucky number 7 in all relationships. Around 7 years is when the big it's almost like a rectification process, right? And reapplication situation type of thing. Every 7 years, right, the girl has to go right back and go, well, is this thing working for me? Is this the guy I like? Am I happy? All this shit. Around 7 years. That's why it's called the lucky number 7, right? Anyways, it's not what this video is about. That'll be on another video, right? But there you go. Another raw truth for you.
For polling these people, less than 13% of couples were saying that they were still in love. And then something like less than 3% said that they were still in a state of bliss, which is kind of what we're sold when it comes to marriage. Like, oh, go get married, live happily ever after, it'll be blissful and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, if less than 3% of people after 8 years are still in a state of bliss, marriage is a tool, as a strategy for relationships, clearly doesn't work.
Stop.
Yeah, stop there. Right? Anyway, the state of bliss is some other whole thing that depends on the elephant in the room that no one wants to really talk about, right? And that's do people really get the ones they want, right?
The idea that marriage is something that it's not. They're going in there, it's all about, oh, this is going to complete me, or this is going to make me happy, or not knowing that, at least from definitely the male point of view, you're signing up for more responsibility.
All responsibility, all work, all depends on you, including your sorry ass happiness, believe it or not. And that's a whole nother elephant in the room, right? Your partner does not give a rat's ass about your happiness. It may seem like it in the beginning, But in all reality, that's not how it works. And there's a reason for it. Matter of fact, that's part of the paradox that I always talk about, right? That you're looking for this magical happiness as if she's gonna provide it for you. But it's almost it's almost the big setup. And I guess I can side with this guy here on this one, that it is a trap, damn near a scam, right? Everything that does make you happy, right, and will make you happy is the one thing your little so-called partner will not do. Why is this? And this is where I come into play. I'll tell you why, right? Part of this is, all of this is the paradox that I talk about, right? Because it does not depend on her. That's why. But because you make it depend on her, right? That's why she refuses to make you happy. It's that simple and at the same time hard to understand, because it seems contradicting, it seems paradoxical. Like I said, it is. It seems like mumbo jumbo, right? It seems like all that stuff. Hard to believe. How can it be so easy, and at the same time, how come it is so shitty? Or in this case, it's one of those, right? And I give you an example, right? It's like food. Why is the best tasting food the food that kills your sorry ass? The food that makes you fat, right? Sugary stuff. Everything that's good, tastes good, makes you feel good is straight up poison. Why is that? Right? Another mystery of the universe. But same thing. And everything that tastes like crap, everything that's hard to do, is the one thing that keeps you healthy. Right? So there you go. I guess the key word is work. Same thing. Same thing. However, there's a built-in this type of work where not only is there a prize at the end of the day, right? It's the be-all, end-all prize. Damn near. Right? But anyways, we can debate that later. Let's jump back in the video because, again, I don't want to make it too long.
For guys, they're more the romantics, so they sort of enter it expecting more of the blissful outcome. Whereas for women, they're a lot less romantic than guys. You know, they're more on a transactional level, you know, sort of thing. So the notion of romance isn't as high for
That's
women
a
as it is
first.
for men. So the expectations, I think, for men and women are very different too.
I will agree about the transaction point. Nobody's just gonna go, well, I'm gonna do this, X, Y, and Z. You're gonna give me this, X, Y, and Z. They don't think of it. It's more of on a subconscious level. But if an element goes away, then it's like, oh, well, I'm bringing more to the table now. So there is definitely a transaction. We each are getting something out of the relationship for us.
There you go. What have I been saying all along? Now, don't fall for this scam here, because this is also a trick question, right? Is it transactional? Well, it kind of is, right? However, you know, most people watch transactions or see transaction as the most basic thing, right? Money. That's the big thing going around in the relationship world. Oh, women, that's all they want. Money and stuff. That's it, right? Well, maybe if you looked at it a little deeper, you would know that that's not necessarily true. That's only the surface, right? That's the surface level stuff. That's the stuff they'll take because they can't get the real thing that they want, right? That's, again, another thing that no one talks about in the internet because they don't believe in it anymore, right? Art of seduction, being a man, responsibility, accountability, all of this, right, is long gone in 2025. Now it's coming back. There's been a resurgence, right? But it's slow, damn slow. Anything that's worth fighting for, right, or earning and all that stuff is slow, damn slow. Not something you're gonna get overnight, right? But again, to show you my point, my whole point is that what women really want is damn near non-existent anymore. So what do, right? They fall, right? They fall to the substitute, in this case the easy money and stuff. That's it. Who has it? Well, whoever has it, right? Which you end up in this situation where you see a beautiful lady, right? She with an ugly ass dude, or what we would consider, right, any other guy that's hating an ugly ass dude, or older gentleman, whatever it is, or a gentleman that's not worthy, right, of said woman, right? And what's the default? It must be the money. It must be that Bugatti. It must be the big ass house. It never is, oh, she may like him because she likes him. It ain't that no more, is it? Anyways, you get the point, right? You get the drift. And that's what I'm saying, right? But anyways, let's continue.
We wouldn't need to even be in it or want to be in it. Do you believe that every guy who chooses to marry, that a prenup is required? Because I get these comments from a lot of people who are like, oh, the women are all about the money, but a lot of these guys are acting as if they're big ballers, as if they got some fat wallet. Come on.
There you go. Now let me tag in on this one. Yeah, she's correct, right? However, it's another trap, right? Any guy, right? Look, especially when I hear about this, we'll end with this because again, I don't want to make the video too long. But we'll end with this. What she just said. We're gonna let this guy answer, but I'm gonna show you that I know what I'm talking about, and hopefully you understand how simple it really is. Again, I'm going to point to the scene of the Batman, is it Returns or the Dark Knight Rises, where Batman breaks his back, right? Well, Bane breaks his sorry ass back. He leaves him in the hole, and now he has to climb out of the hole, right? Now it is revealed that the little girl or the little boy, whatever it was, jumped and climbed out the hole. Everybody else since then has been trying to jump the damn wall with a rope around their waist, right? Now here is the example, right? Batman tried it a couple times with the rope tied around his waist, right? Same thing with a prenup. You're trying to marry a girl, right, with the rope tied around the waist. You know what that translates to? Failure. Yes, I know how it sounds. Oh, it's just a movie, and it actually is. You see, movies reflect, at least the good ones, reflect real life. And there's true universal teachings in these movies, right? That's why they work, right? That's why the shitty ones do not. They're bombs, failures. It over and over again. You can see that's why Hollywood's dead. But this ain't about Hollywood for today, right? Anyways, you get the point, right? Finally, old man tells him, yes, you do not fear death, but you need the most powerful feeling in the world. Now, what is that? Fear, my friends. The fear of death, right? Or failure, whatever it is, right? And how do you counter the most powerful feeling in the world? With the greatest, right? The greatest weapon in the world, right? The most powerful weapon in the world that's in right between your legs, your nads, believe it or not, with cojones, balls. That's what it takes. And I said it over and over, guys, what it is. Risk. How do you confront risk? By going balls out. That's what the old guy said, told Batman, right? You gotta jump without the rope if you have the balls to. And what did Batman do? He grew a pair, untied the dumbass rope, jumped, and somehow made it. Leap of faith. Same thing here. So there you go. There's your answer. Just like that. You want a successful marriage? You go in, you go with balls, and you go with what you were meant to be, the captain, right? Not third person, not with fear because what someone else failed, because he sucked, because his girl cheated, because that other guy over there was cheated out of his money, because he sucked, right? Because the statistics, Because the world? Because that guy? Because my mom? Because my brother? Whatever it is. Do you have the nads and do you love this woman? Do you want to marry her? You go ahead and you do it. Why? Because you have the nads and you're willing to take all the risk. And long and behold, somehow, right? It works. Because that's the paradox, right? Again, you have what it takes. Are you the man because you say you're the man? Or are you the man because you are the man? You understand? There's a difference. And like I said, it's that simple. It really is. It really is. But it's hard to do. But first step is understanding it. Right now I'm going to let this guy answer so we could finish up with this video. And I'll show you the difference between what I said, right? And I damn near guarantee you what he's going to say, right? And it's going to be lame. It's going to be weak, full of excuses, right? Full of beware of this and beware of that. And you'll see, and I'll prove to you, if you made it this far, that here is where the answers are, and you can find here in the Space Luchador program, right? Man's Point of View channel with the Space Luchador as your host, right? But anyways, let's go ahead and see if I am correct.
Now, you just don't have enough assets to even require that. What are your thoughts on that?
If you're wealthy and she isn't, and it's a first-time marriage, you should probably have a prenup.
There you go. Put all your little shit away and have a plan B so that you don't become a mark. What did I just say? Fear. And if anything, you're validating that, yes, in fact, she's trying to marry you for your sorry ass money. That is a damn submission of guilt. Right? And giving up of power. You're like, well, yeah, you know, I know you don't like me. I know you want my money, so I'm going to make you sign this so you don't take my money. Because that's the level of man that I am. A shitty one. So there you go. You're welcome, right? But let's finish it off with some more.
Because again, you know, like as a instrument of love, marriage doesn't work 50% of the time. And the ones that stay together, most of them are miserable because they're not in love or bliss. So you should
there you go.
have a prenup to govern the untying of the knot, because
have a prenup so we can have this fake ass relationship moving forward, right? Under the pretense that you don't want my money, wink wink, and I don't want a little piece of your ass, wink wink. Even though we both know what I want and we both know what you want. So let's continue with this farce, right? That's what it is. That's the raw truth. And if anything, any third party doesn't really give a rat's ass about your relationship. They want the same thing. Money or a piece of her ass. That's it. That's all it ever has been. But anyways, there you go, right? If you like this video, give me a like, share, subscribe, right? Help me help you by commenting, by sharing it. Now, yeah, I botched a couple of things here and there on my own channel, which is why it seems like, you know, it's gone under the radar. That's my own fault. I don't know how the hell to work this damn thing. So anyways, I'm working on that stuff. Had nothing to do with it now. I don't know why I mentioned it, but there you go. Yeah, again, I'll see you on the next Space Luchador program. I'm gonna get even rawer and more real, I guess, than before. So there you go. I'll see you in the next one.